I will say this, my nose is already starting to feel like it's going to fall off from the cold. So let's see how much of this carder I can get pulled apart before my fingers stop working. I don't think it's possible to do much disassembly with gloves on here. Although I might be willing to try it. I'm going to go get a pair of gloves and see how well I can do. I'm also going to move this Crosley back a little bit. It's so close to me here. By the way, many of you mentioned the accelerator pump. This Carb has an accelerator pump that Tillotson does not. Many of you said it sounds like the accelerator pump. That is exactly true. However, like I say, the Tillotson doesn't have one. So, even though that sounds like what it's doing, and I agree that, you know, obviously this is getting too much air, not enough fuel. Otherwise, because when you choke it hard, it will crank up and run pretty normally. Although, if you get it to where it will accelerate with the choke open, it won't idle. Well, not with the choke open. If you get it to accelerate with the choke closed, it won't idle with the choke closed or run at low speed. So there's it's kind of what the whole idea of accelerator pump is. It squirts a little gas down there when you romp on it, because you're sucking in a lot of air, and you need a lot of gas to go along with the increased amount of air coming into the carburetor. So the accelerator pump just squirts a big gulp of gas right down in the motor there. Since the Tillotson doesn't have one, I'm not sure what mechanism it has to regulate that flow. You know, one thing I can do with that Tillotson is I can slowly accelerate the motor up to a high speed, and it will go just fine. Having said that, though, I'm sorry, I'm just looking at this trying to figure out what I'm looking at, I guess. Something went flying. What was that? Gasket that goes right there, apparently. I'm guessing. Went right here. That gasket goes right there. Okay. So, I think I might operate on this baby in sections, because I've got several pieces and parts in my hand here that's coming apart. In order to try to keep everything squared away and make sure I get all the right pieces back in the right holes. I ain't the first person that's been in this carburetor. It's got some scars on the nuts and all that's on the screws, nuts, bolts, things. And I'm pulling out. It's got all kind of little jets and things in it. Carburetors generally work if they're clean and they don't have any holes stopped up or anything like that. Sometimes you'll find a crack or something, but sometimes even that's not fatal. I've got a crack in the arm that holds my float up in that John Deere out there. I've been running it that way for years. I could buy a new carburetor, but even with just one arm holding the float, it works okay. So if that ever stops working, I'll know that I need to pay attention to that. Well, it's even got a little tiny jet thing down in there. I might need a it might work. I was thinking I might need a smaller screwdriver to get that one out. I do see some dirt in this carburetor. It looks a lot like it's old Arkansas red clay. Probably been in there ever since well, I'm pretty sure it's been in there ever since it came from Cutworm's place. So I got 4 different screw valves here. I'm going to try to keep them all in a different pile. I'll put that one over here. Now let's see if we got anything inside of there. Oh, we've got 2 more down here to come out. Okay. We can do that. I don't think that one's got one in yet. I think that's just an opening. I might need to go and get me a little flashlight for that. I've got one more here. Put that over here with that one. And I don't think there's anything inside of that one except the passageway. Oh, and we got one more down in the bottom of the bowl there. I might take this whole thing. I've got a bucket of carburetor cleaner around here somewhere, and I might take that whole thing and just drop it in there.